Hi everyone and welcome to a new Path of Exile video. I'm Koshido and today I'm gonna share with you my Bane Occultist Leaguestarter. Bane is an AoE spell that deals dot damage based on how many courses are linked to it, and it also applies those courses to the enemies. So the concept of the build is to boost the Bane damage as much as we can and use it to clear packs. To help us with the damage we are going to use Essence Drain and Val Blight. The cool thing about this build is that we can reach 1 million Shaper DPS with super budget gear, and we can go up to 3-4 million with a little bit of investment. Also with this build we have high life, a decent amount of energy shield, we can reach 80% of hit chance, 70% damage reduction and 60% spell suppression. And with the regen provided from Essence Drain, it makes this build very tanky. Let's jump into PoB. Here we have step-by-step guide. We have a level 95 without cluster jewels and a level 95 with cluster jewel. We are only using one large and one small, and we don't have a low life version. With the Bane Occultist, I prefer the life version over the low life. You can go low life, but it will require a lot of investment. Let's look at the gems. Here I have an endgame setup and a step-by-step leveling setup. For the endgame we are using Bane with Despair, Temporal Chains and Punishment as courses, and Void Manipulation, Control Destruction as a supporter. So we get +1 course from the Ascendancy, Malediction, and then we get another +1 from Whisper of Doom. Essence Drain, we are using it with Void Manipulation, with Affliction, Control Destruction, Efficacy and Empower. Blight, Val Blight, we are using it with Infused Channeling, Void Manipulation, Control Destruction. Auras, we are using Val Grace, Malevolence, Vitality and Determination. Blindash with Arcane Surge, remember to keep Arcane Surge at level 6. Utility, we are using Molten Shell and Withering Steps. Withering Steps is for boost the damage, and Molten Shell is for our survivability. If you don't want to use Molten Shell, you can use Steel Skin, and you can use these on your left mouse button, so whenever you move you cast Molten Shell or Steel Skin. And then we can get a defense banner with an unset ring. It's kinda hard to fit another aura, but if you follow the notes you should be able to do it. Let's look at the leveling gem. Basically you level like an AD Contagion till you get to level 24 and you get Bane. So we start off with Blight and Arcane Surge. At level 4 we add Infused Channeling. We can buy also Contagion to clear the packs, and we have Frostblink. At level 8 we link Contagion with Void Manipulation and Arcane Surge, keep Arcane Surge low level, and Blight with Infused Channeling and Void Manipulation. At level 10 we swap Frostblink for Flame Dash, and we can get the Spell Totem with Wither to boost our single target damage, and we can also get Vitality, keep Vitality low level according to your mana pool. At level 12 we get Essence Drain and we link it with Void Manipulation. At level 18 we can get also Control Destruction, and at this point we are using Contagion on packs, Essence Drain to spread the debuff around, and Blight for the single target. At level 24 we can drop Contagion and start using Bane with only one course for now, which is Despair. So we have Bane, Despair, Control Destruction and Void Manipulation, and we are still using Essence Drain and Blight for single target. Auras, we can pick up Malevolence. At level 31 we can use Essence Drain with Despair, Swift Affliction, Control Destruction, and after that we can go Endgame gear. Let's look at the item sets. Here we have entry level, budget and endgame. The entry level is just life and resist, and here we have a +2 stuff. Then we have budget gear. Now we start building some damage and especially mana reservation to be able to fit 3 big auras. For the weapon we are using the Cane of Unrevealing. It should be very cheap in the beginning. You can use it for 5 link till you get a 6 link one. Helmet, we are using armor base with increased reservation efficiency of skills. You can get this implicit by using the Ether of the Word Orb. We are using a body armor, a Warlord body armor that can get you the +1 socketed active skill gem. We can also use the Redeemer for the +1 sportive skill gem. Gloves, we can use Apothecary's gloves for the implicit. We are using at 0 steps. Amulet, we use a shaper base with the mana reservation rule. With this and the helmet, we are able to fit 3 big auras. If you hit +1 level of all Chaos skill gem is a plus. That may be very pricey to hit. So we are going to give priority to the increased mana reservation efficiency of skills. The endgame amulet will be the Ashes of the Star, so don't spend too much here. Ring, try to aim for high life, res, and stats if you need them. You can also craft increased chaos damage on ring with the essence of envy. Lastly, for the belt, the Stygian Vise is the better option with a good Abyss Jewel, but if you don't have the Stygian Vise, you can also use a leather belt with a high life roll and resist. Okay, let's look at the end game gear. Keep in mind this is with some investment compared to our budget gear set. If you are willing to invest 100 of X, you can push this build way further. For the weapon, we have a +5 with chaos damage over time multiplier staff. You don't have to use the battery staff, but I think it's a cool staff to use. For the helmet, we are using the crown of the inward eye, and we are enchanting it with determination mana reservation. In this way, with the Ashes of the Star with a mana reservation max roll mod, we are able to use 3 big auras and Defiance banner. You can get the +1 support gems from Elder or Redeemer base, and you can get the active skill gems from Warlord or Shaper base. An alternative may be a Skin of the Loyal with good corruption. For the gloves, we are crafting them with the Essence of Delirium to get the socketed gems deal 30% more damage over time, and we are adding Eldritch Implicit, Spell Suppression, and Chaos damage over time multiplier. We are still using Activity Steps, very good. We are using Ashes of the Star, and we are anointing Corruption. Rings, we are using Eolith Rings for the increased Chaos damage implicit. You can use a Vermilion Ring if you feel like you have enough damage and you want more survivability. And we can spam Essence of Envy to get the increased Chaos damage, and we can also craft increased damage. Belt, we are using a Hunter-influenced Stingent Vice because it can roll increased Chaos damage. You can also get the Chaos damage from a leather belt, but if you manage to get a high life Stingent Vice with a good Abyss gem, is better. Jewels, we are using a large cluster jewel with Anali Grace, Unwave Evil, and Wicked Pal. We are using a medium cluster with Student of Decay and Wicked Pal. We are using a Watcher's Eye with movement speed while affected by Grace, unaffected by Poison while Malevolence. Other good mods can be Malevolence Dot, Bleed Immunity, or Determination Crit Damage Reduction for more survivability. Other good mods are Damage over Time Multiplier, Chaos Damage, Increased Life, Increased Damage. Don't forget to check the note section, there are many useful tips and I will add more as the build evolves. For example, there are many useful tips while leveling, there are gear alternatives, there are solutions for problems. Check it out. And that's it for the build. Let me know if you're going to play the Bane Occultist. If you have any question, feel free to leave a comment down below. I will do my best to answer as fast as possible. You can also catch me live on twitch.tv/Koshido. Thank you very much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want more content like this, and remember, stay safe, Exile.